We call on the international community to help because our country alone cannot handle this incident. We want the international community to start working with us at this time and to continue their cooperation.
I speak now to Fahim Sadat, who's an Afghanistan political analyst, and he joins us now from Nordhausen in Germany. Welcome to the programme. Fahim, is this the moment that the international community should start working with the Taliban?
I think absolutely it is the time. We see that there were earthquakes in Afghanistan in 1997, then 98, then 2002, and also in 2016. But what is worse with this earthquake that it is happening in a time when the country is already on its knees. Afghanistan is facing a tsunami of challenges and problems such as the economic meltdown and a catastrophic humanitarian situation in the country already. And then you have a sanctioned authority who is not even able to pay the salaries of its own rank and file and soldiers. In such a situation where you have an earthquake which has affected almost 270,000 people, according to some data, and almost 8,000 children, and already 1,000 people have died, and almost 1,500 are injured, and around 1,800 houses are destroyed. And then you have a emergency response doing all this stuff because we don't have a functioning state at the moment. And the state is not functioning because it has very less capacity, or there's no capacity as it is facing sanctions, and also its assets are frozen. So I think it's more than high time for the countries which has still assets of the Afghans frozen to be released, so that at least the central bank is capable of doing something, and the government or the de facto authority overall. Because I think despite the effectiveness of the emergency response, but emergency response done by the relief agencies will still have its limits. It is the state which can
just on that point,
manage.
Fahim, the search and rescue operation was stopped just 2 days after the earthquake. I do wonder if there was more international help, whether that could have continued. But this is a country with a history of earthquakes, as you said, and also in a dire situation right now. What if this happens again, another earthquake? You know, you can't. Can you continue? I guess my question is, can you continue to ignore the Taliban?
I think Afghanistan overall is almost being ignored. When the earthquake happened, I was observing the situation. There was hardly any reports or international coverage. So I as an Afghan feel like Afghanistan has been ignored, and we have been somehow put into the emergence of issues, which is sad. And as I said before, a sanctioned authority and a government, a so-called government in Kabul, which has all its assets frozen, is in no state or in no position to offer any help. We saw that the only help that the state or the Taliban could provide was having some 5 helicopters doing some deliveries, albeit very limited. So basically, the Ministry of Defense of the Taliban is very much involved because the civilian administration or authorities have nothing to offer. All they can do is to sit and look at the relief agencies. What are they doing? So they are somehow helping them to channel their activities. But as I said before, emergency response has limit. They are not enough. It is the state, it is a functioning state that can manage such catastrophes.
Very good point you make there, Fahim. On that note, we'll end. Thank you so much, Fahim Sadat, an Afghanistan political analyst. Thank you so much for your time and analysis.
You're welcome.